Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute little Poo plushie from the anime Yu Yu Hakusho. You're going to need a dark blue fuzzy sock, a light blue fuzzy sock, some yellow fuzzy socks, some white fleece or felt material, some black fleece or felt material for the eyebrows and the inner part of the eye, some black yarn for the hair, and then you're going to need some stuffing to stuff him with. I just used an old pillow and took it apart. And then you're going to need a needle and matching thread, and I used some super glue to hold some of the pieces in place. You're also going to need a scissors to cut everything up. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is start out with your dark blue sock, and we're going to stuff it. Okay, so once you're done stuffing him, you should have a nice pear shape like this. And then we're going to cut off this bottom part of fabric. So you're going to have an opening like this, and now we're just going to close this off. So we're going to go in from the top and make a knot to hold our thread in place. And then you're going to sew around the edge of this. So you're going to go in and out all the way around the edge. And you can do this kind of loosely because we're just doing this to pull it tight. Okay, so once you've gotten all the way around the edge, we're just going to start pulling this thread tight. Okay, so once you've got it pulled shut, you'll see there's these little ridges around it, and we're just going to sew through all of those, pulling tight while we go. Now we're going to sew across the opening a couple times just to help secure it. Okay, once you're done with that, we're going to knot it off. I'm going to knot it twice just to help secure it. So you're going to go in through the end of your thread and just pull it tight. Then we're going to hide our thread by going in where the thread is coming out and just shoving our needle out through the body. Okay, so you should have a shape like this now, and this is going to be the body. So the next thing I did is cut out these little circles from some white fleece felt material, and then I also cut out some smaller little black circles from some black fleece. So I'm just going to glue these in place like this. Okay, so for the beak, I just cut off this little piece of yellow from the fuzzy sock, one of the yellow fuzzy socks. Now I'm just going to sketch a little shape on it. Okay, so I'm going to go and sew along this line that I just drew. Okay, I'm going to leave this little opening here unsewn because I'm going to turn this inside out. So I'm just going to tie this off with a knot now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just cut off this excess fabric from where I sewed. And then I'm going to turn it inside out. You should have this nice triangle shape here. And now I'm just going to sew this little opening closed. Okay, so at the end of the thread still attached to the beak, I'm going to start sewing it onto the face. So it's going to go about like this. And you're just going to sew around all of the edges here. So you're going to go in from the blue part and up through the yellow. Okay, so once you sew the beak on, it should look like this. And then I also cut out some little strips for eyebrows from some of that black fleece material that I used for the eyes. So the next thing you're going to want to do is cut out a little pyramid type shape out of some lighter blue fuzzy sock. So mine looks like this. and we're going to use this for his belly. So you're going to go in from the body and up into the belly. And you're going to do that all the way around the belly. And I'm just going to kind of stretch it out as I sew so I can make it a little bigger and get the shape that I want. Okay, so once you sew the belly on, it should look like this. So now we're going to take the top part of the fuzzy sock that we cut off from the body, and we're going to cut it open. And we're going to use this to make his hands. So I'm just going to cut a couple strips out of this, and then we'll shape them the way we want. Okay, so you're going to cut out 2 pieces about this size and shape, and this is going to be for the arm. So this is just folded in half. Okay, so you're going to take each of these and fold them in half, and then you're just going to sew around all of the edges. So it'll be one solid piece. And you don't have to turn it inside out for this because it's okay for it to be a rough sew. Okay, so once you have the little arms done, they're going to look like this, and then we're going to attach them to the body. Okay, so to attach the arm to the body, we're going to do the same thing as all the other pieces and go in from the body and up from the arm. And just do that all the way across the top of the arm. Okay, so once you have it sewn on, it should look like this. Then you're going to do the same thing for the other arm. Okay, so he should look like this so far with his little arms on. The next thing we're going to do is make his ears. So for this, we're going to cut off half of a sock. We're going to cut it at the heel here. And then we're going to cut this in half again. Okay, so I'm going to cut the end of this so that it's rounded. Okay, so it should look like this. And then I'm going to sew around the edge of all of this and do the same thing for the other sock. Okay, so once you sew the 2 ears, they should look like this. And then we're going to attach them to the head the same way we did with his arms. So I'm going to attach mine about like here. So you can go ahead and sew those in place. Alright, so once you're done sewing the ears on, they should look like this. And the next thing we're going to do is add his hair. So I'm going to take some black yarn and wrap it around my hand a bunch of times. Okay, then I'm going to cut it off. And I'm going to slip my hands through. Put something through that opening so you don't lose it. And then I'm going to grab another piece of yarn. And I'm just going to tie through this hole. So I'm going to put the yarn through. And then I'm just going to tie a knot here. Make it pretty tight so it doesn't come undone. So right now you should have this little loop with the yarn. Now I'm going to go through and just cut the top of it. The next thing I'm going to do is fold the yarn over like this so it's all facing down, and cut another piece of yarn and lay it underneath. And I'm just going to tie a knot around it. And again, I'm going to double knot this to hold it in place. Just going to cut the strings here. Okay, so now you're going to take your little tuft of hair and stick it on top. And I'm going to try and sew it in place. So I'm just going in from the top of his head and up through this little middle part of the tuft. I'm just pulling it through. And you shouldn't be able to see any of this when you're done because the strands will cover it. Okay, now you can just go around and trim it to whatever shape that you want. I'm just going to cut some of these longer ones off. Alright, so this is what his hair looks like now. And the last thing we have to do is the feet. So you're going to need your yellow fuzzy sock for this. Okay, so I cut out two shapes like this from the yellow fuzzy sock, and they're both connected. Now I'm going to turn them inside out and sew around the edges of them, leaving a little opening so that I can flip them right side out when I'm done. Okay, so once you've sewed around the edge, you should leave this little bit open so you can turn it inside out. Okay, now we're going to take a little bit of stuffing just to give it some shape and just stuff it. Okay, now we're just going to sew this opening closed. So you're going to pinch the edges together and just sew around like that. So once you're done sewing the 2 feet, they should look like this, and then we're just going to attach it to the body. So you're going to want to position his feet about like this, and you're going to do the same thing where you go in from the body and up through the feet. And do that all the way around, and you're just going to do that for both sides. Alright, so once you're done sewing the feet on, they should look about like this, and you're all finished. This is your little Poo plushie. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it around if you think people will enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe for future videos, and let me know down in the comments below if you have any suggestions for videos you would like to see.